Poco has just launched a new F series phone called the F5 5G. It's a follow-up to last year's F4 5G and it promises big improvements in performance and battery life. The Poco F5 5G is very similar to the Redmi Note 12 Turbo, which was recently launched in China. The headlining feature of the new F5 is the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 SoC. Here's a quick unboxing and first look at the device. The Poco F5 5G ships in a pretty nondescript box with just the name of the phone printed in bright yellow. Inside we have a paper sleeve which contains a SIM eject tool and transparent case. Next up we have the F5 in the carbon black color, but it's also available in white and blue. You also get a Type-C cable and a 67-watt charging adapter. The Poco F5 5G does not feel very heavy and is nice to hold despite its sharp and angular design thanks to the rounded edges. The plastic frame feels sturdy, but the glossy back panel doesn't really give a premium vibe, at least in this black color. Thankfully, the rear camera bump is minimal, so the F5 feels quite sleek overall. You get the standard selection of physical ports, including a headphone jack on the top. The Poco F5 5G is IP53 rated for basic moisture resistance, and there are stereo speakers. The phone comes with a similar display as the F4 5G with an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, a Full HD Plus resolution and support for Dolby Vision HDR playback. The bezels are thankfully evenly slim all around and the maximum brightness is now a bit higher at 1000 nits. The new Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 should be really interesting as it's set to use a similar architecture as the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC, and it also promises better performance compared to the older SoCs such as the 870 and the 888. The Poco F5 comes with 256GB of storage as standard, but will have two RAM variants, 8GB and 12GB. The phone has a 5000 mAh battery, which is a nice upgrade from the F4 and supports the same 67-watt fast charging. The Poco F5 runs MIUI 14, which is based on Android 13, and Poco has promised 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. Finally, the cameras. The F5 5G features a similar setup as last year's model with a primary 64-megapixel camera with OIS, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide and a 2-megapixel macro. For selfies, you get a 16-megapixel front camera. So that was a quick first look at the new Poco F5 5G. Let us know what you think about this new smartphone in the comments. And for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.